Hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you don't know me, my name's Lachlan Booker. I'm an audio engineer and music producer based in Sydney, Australia. Today I've got a video about a tool that I've made that I use in my own productions. When I'm working in Ableton, I like to have templates and tools that I can go to that are diverse and can make a wide array of different kinds of sounds. And the tool that I'm going to show you today is something I've been using for the last few months. Primarily it makes drones, textures, transitions, swells, background noises, that sort of thing. But I've really been enjoying using it these last few months and it's really versatile. So today's video is essentially for me to show you what it is and give it to you to use in your own productions. So thanks again for tuning in and I hope you find this useful. And the Gumroad link to download this will be in the description below. So back in Ableton, and this is the tool that I wanted to share with you today. It's essentially made up of two separate sound sources and then a whole chain of effects. And I've just organized it here to try and make it make a little bit of sense if someone else wants to use it. So essentially we've got noise and a wavetable sound source here that run through some effects to make the tone different, and then I've got controls for the envelope and filters at the end of those sound sources. Then those go through these different effects chains. I've got delay and reverb, and I've just sort of named these dials here depending on what kind of result I think the effects have on the sound. And yeah, it's really quite fun to fiddle with these dials and automate them in your tracks and get different results. But I'll give you a bit of a sample of what it can sound like and how diverse it can be. So I've got three different examples here. I've just built these really quickly just to show you how these can sort of work together and how you can really even build a whole track with this instrument just on its own. And then I've also put together some samples from different sample packs and a couple of different sort of real world examples of how I might use this. And then I've made a few different MIDI clips here just to show you a few different options. So here I've just got sort of this long chord drone on that first example. The second one I've got more of a higher pitched sound, and I've just used the noise sound source and some different parameters to get a different result. And then here I've added a bit more of like a rhythmic pattern on the second example just to show you that it can be a bit snappier, especially with the changes to the amp envelope section here as well. I'll just play you all those individually and then show you what they all sound like. So I just fiddled with the dials there to give you a bit of an example of how you can kind of play around with this. Obviously you can get a little bit more creative with the MIDI notes and things like that to get different results. But I wanted to give you a real world example of how I would actually use this as like a transitional tool between different parts of my arrangement when I'm making techno. So here I've prepared a really simple loop with a kick, a bass sound, and some hats, and then two different examples that could potentially work with this sort of loop. I've got these three samples from different sample packs that I bought a while ago, just to sort of throw together an idea and show you how you might use this instrument. So firstly, I've got this first example. I'll show you what that sounds like. Then I've got this second example. I'll show you how it sounds just on its own so you can clearly identify what I've done, and then I'll play that loop again so you can hear how it all sounds together. And then with the rest of the loop. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give you a really brief intro of some of the basic things you can do with it. As I'm sure you can imagine, you can get pretty creative with it. But yeah, I wanted to give this out to you today to use in your own productions and see if it's a useful tool. It's free. I've put it on Gumroad in the link down in the description. Go ahead and download it there, and if you make anything cool, I'd love to hear it. If you want more free music tools, production insights, and tips, subscribe to the channel or follow my Gumroad page, linked below if you want to be updated when I share something new. Thanks so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate your support. Have a great day.